Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to build a bamboo farm for your Minecraft survival world. As you can see, this farm is very simple. All it is a field of bamboo and then a slime block flying machine that goes back and forth and harvests it all for us. We also use minecarts down below to harvest all of the crops so we can, get all the bamboo for the scaffolding and furnace fuel that we need. So this is a rather small farm, but it still produces around 10,000 bamboo per hour, just with a farm this size. I have one on my Strangecraft SMP world that's probably half the size of this and produced double chest upon double chest overnight. So it's definitely a really cool farm. Definitely recommend checking it out. So yeah, let's get into building this farm. Now, since this farm can be basically expanded infinitely in that direction, though I will give a forewarning about that in a second. I'm not going to provide an item list just because depending on the size of farm you build, it's sort of going to depend on that. I will say you will need some of these redstone supplies you see right here for a hopper clock, as well as lots of minecarts, rails, and of course like a slime block flying machine, and of course some starter bamboo. A bit of a forewarning before you start your farm, definitely make sure that when you're building your farm, you don't go too big. Otherwise, you'll have to do something different for your storage because your minecart hoppers will literally not be able to keep up with the flow you're getting. And it looks like we're actually missing a couple, which you'll have to fix. But just keep that in mind. If you make this too big, you'll actually fill up your hoppers before you can actually exit this. This is already operating on double speed hoppers, so keep that in mind. But let's hop into the tutorial now. Alright, to begin your tutorial, pick a nice flat area to build this farm, and go ahead and place 2 double chests like so. This will be your storage output, and go ahead and place 20 hoppers like so. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And do the exact same on top, so put a second layer of hoppers, just like so. And then put a row of blocks right next to the top hoppers like this. Now at this point, decide the length of your farm. I'll be going, say, 18 blocks in this direction, so not very far. We'll go this far, a little bit smaller than the other design. And go ahead and complete this square. So bring it back to there and just fill this in as a big platform of your block of your choice. Something rails can go onto, so you could use slabs. Now what you want to do is come back here and put a row of blocks just like this, adjacent to the hoppers diagonally. And now we're going to put our rails in, so the pattern is put a powered rail here, 8 normal rails, so 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Put another normal rail right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Powered rail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we get to the end, put a powered rail right here, and then go ahead and you can put a row of blocks, also back here, diagonally adjacent. And what you want to do is just repeat this rail pattern over and over and over again. Once you're complete, it should look something like this. Now what we have to do is power our rails. So get some levers and go underneath the farm. And you're going to want to power this entire row of powered rails, this entire row of powered rails, this row, of course, power this one, and then power this row. The only thing you don't have the power is the ones sitting on the hoppers, since this is where our minecarts will sit when they're not going back and forth, as you can see over there. So power all of these rows of stuff. And once you're done, you should have something looking like this. Now what you want to do is take your grass block or any block that bamboo can be placed on, place a row right here, leaving a 2-block gap where the rails are like this. And now what you want to do is just extend that whole row back all the way into the last rail, so right here, and you just want to fill in the square of grass. Once you're done, you should have a big rectangle of grass just like this. Next thing we're going to do is put in our flying machine, and you'll need the following items in my hotbar to do this. The glass can be any type of block. I just prefer glass, since as you can see, I think it looks pretty cool, especially when the colors match like this, but obviously you can use any type of glass you want, and of course, any type of block for that matter. First thing you want to do is place your pistons in the center of this 20-block thing. And you want to do so in a pattern just like this. Then what you want to go ahead and do is put slime blocks kind of extending down with a glass block on the end, kind of in this pattern on both sides. So you should have a crisscross shape just like so. These are just marking blocks for the center. And the next thing you want to do is go ahead, put a piece of obsidian behind it like that. then place observers that are observing up. So you kind of have to place them like this. You know, if I was in survival mode, you could place like a temporary block there. And of course, I set the flying machine off. As I was saying, in survival mode, you could put a temporary block right there and then place your observer just like so. Once you do that, what you want to do is line up with this piston and come back all the way to the other side of the grass and then come back to the third block. So you want to have a 2-block gap from this grass right here. And that'll be where your starting obsidian is. And to check it lines up, we can just fire off the flying machine by triggering that observer right there and wait for it to hit the other side. And if everything's lined up correctly, this slime block sweeper should be just over the grass edge, and there should be 1-block gap for this one. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and place some leaf blocks to ensure that any items that kind of get pushed off are eventually pushed back onto the farm itself to be picked up by hoppers. So to do that, first thing I want to do is just place a row of leaves down here, just like so. Go ahead and extend this back by 1. And I like just to fill it in. Some of these leaves aren't totally necessary, like this part right here, but it looks just better to have the full rectangle filled, in my opinion. And what you want to do is just kind of create containment chambers for your slime block sweepers, like this. And then at the end, what I like to do is just kind of fill in the entire back with leaves. I mean, they're very cheap, so it's not too expensive to get them. And it just looks way better than having that weird design, in my opinion, by having all these leaves, adding some greenery to our redstone build, filling in the back, just like so. Next thing what we're going to do is place an observer, though, right here, and this is going to be the component that automatically returns our flying machine to the other side. Go ahead, place a redstone dust on top of this block, repeater on 4 ticks, and then place a iron trapdoor on top of this observer, and that will actually cause this to start returning to the other side. Now we're going to place leaves on this side, so directly above the powered rails, just go ahead and place yourselves some leaf blocks, just like so. And on the side where the sweeper is not, necessarily apparent, go ahead and do something like this, and then extend the leaves over the sweeper like so. On this side where the sweeper is farther back, what you're going to do is place an additional column of leaves behind it like this. Obviously, some of these are unnecessary. Actually, leave out this row. That is one thing you do have to do. And go ahead and place all your leaves and then just extend it out. Once again, like this. This row is unnecessary, but I'm just matching this up. And once again, you can go ahead and kind of fill it in like this to make it look just a little bit better. And you put that block right there as well. The only thing you have to do is you do have to leave a space in between this leaf block and this stone block down below. Now, in order to make the farm nearly lossless, we got to put a wall in, and this wall is optional. You will lose some items that will fall into the ground outside the farm, but you're still going to get tons of bamboo. But I would recommend this step. You built the farm, you might as well put in a few stacks of glass. So in order to build the wall, what you want to do is just come to your farm and build a 5-high glass wall that extends all the way down to this point right here. So wherever the end of the flying machine is, you just want to fill that all in with glass. And you should go ahead and do it on the other side as well. Now we're just going to kind of complete the wall. So you might want to extend it a couple blocks back, just like this. And what I like to do is also just put a full block on the edge to kind of round off the wall, make it look a little better. And you want to do the same on this side. So just make sure everything's covered and put like a pillar to mark the edge of the wall that lines flush up with your leaves. Definitely do the same on this side. So you go ahead, put your limestone glass to the edge with a pillar right there. And this one actually just needs the pillar. And make sure you have that wall on both sides. Now we're almost done. We just got to do some redstone to link up the minecarts to the flying machine system and then do our overall timings. Alright, so come around to the side of your farm with the chest on it, break that block, and put an observer observing your slime block flying machine. Place a block on the edge, and then place one below it like this, and put 2 redstone dust. Now put a temporary redstone torch or power lever, whatever power source you have, and just extend a redstone line across this whole thing. Wherever the power ends, replace that with a repeater. And what you can go ahead and do is place 4 blocks, just like so. Place a repeater coming out of here, and then place some redstone dust and then a repeater going into that block, just like that. And what that actually does is powers this powered rail over there. So that's how that functions. Now we're almost complete. We just got to put our hopper timer in, and then we're actually done. First thing you want to do is replace this block with a full block. Put yourself a redstone repeater on full delay. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and place a sticky piston right there, as well as right here, and put a redstone block on that one just like this. Then what you can go ahead and do is place 2 hoppers like that. We're just building a standard etho hopper clock right here. And what you can do is make this pattern on both sides of the hoppers, and then place 2 comparators and then 2 pieces of redstone dust just like so. And what you want to do is go ahead and put 5 stacks of items into one of the hoppers, and then place a trapdoor atop of this observer right here. And you can also add an on-off switch, so just put a block with a lever, and if you pull the lever, that will lock the hopper clock, and the farm will stop essentially cycling through timings. You're nearly complete. All that's left to do is place in your hopper minecarts, as you can see. Also, get rid of this redstone torch and place a repeater on 4 ticks of delay right there. We forgot to do that. Then go ahead, place your hopper minecarts down. For some reason, they start like moving. I'm not sure why that's the case, but you can go ahead, place them all down, and yeah, they should be working now. So if they start rolling, that's not too big of a deal. Just make sure all of them roll off when you activate the system. So we can go ahead and do this. Looks like they're all going, so we're good. We can replace that repeater down like that. And all your minecarts should just be sitting flush just like so. And that is actually the farm finished, except for the most important part. You need to start and place some bamboo in all of these spaces. You could honestly start with just like a few, just like this, and these will actually end up growing, and you can use that to plant down more. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to plant all of them in. And there you have it. All your bamboo is now in place. Of course, it's not the saplings. It'll look like this when you place it in at first, but I use commands, so that's why it looks like that. But yeah, the farm is now complete. You have your on-off switch right here. You have your item output right here, which you can put into a water stream, etc., etc. Very, very cool. This farm's done. The only last step you might want to do is go ahead and just cap off your wall on these leaves right here, just to avoid any last minute losses. So go ahead, yeah, just cap this all off. Very, very simple, and do that on both sides of the farm, and everything should be working perfectly at that point. You shouldn't have any loss. Based on my calculations, I don't think bamboo, you might lose 1 or 2, but that'd be very, very rare for a bamboo plant this close to the edge to grow that tall. So that's something to keep in mind. But now your farm's done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. But other than that, guys, I hope you have an easygoing day, and I will catch y'all later. Bye-bye.